Hello, this is Deborah Cohen, a story and a song podcast. And every week I share something that I'm learning in life as a baby boomer, things that would be helpful to not only senior citizens like me, but anybody looking for longevity and better health. And today's topic, weight loss. So I got a hold of this book by Pam Grout, and it says Jumpstart Your Metabolism. And she talks about how to lose weight by changing the way you and I breathe. So, because I'm looking to lose my belly, I thought, well, I've not been successful so far. Maybe it's as simple as breathing correctly. So, if that interests you, then get together your notes, and I'll be sharing an excerpt from this book right after this brief message. And again, this is Deborah Cohen, and today we're talking about trying to lose weight. How many ways have you tried? Let's dig into this book and find out. You've tried grapefruit, maybe chromium, algae. You've tried them all. Yes, I have. You've read every diet book that ever has been written. You've aerobicized every workout video that's ever been made. You've sent in your check, your cash, or money order for every piece of exercise equipment that's ever been advertised on late night TV. And when it says money order, you can tell this book must be kind of old, because who uses money orders anymore? I remember using them. Let's see if I can find the date. 1996, okay. All right, so, but you're still fat. Oh, yes. I hate to say it, but I'm honestly trying. I've been trying for decades. And so is my mother. She used to go to Dr. Arbetta in Massachusetts, somewhere around Framingham, maybe, and get some prescription for obesity. And it's still a problem today. It's even more so today. There's more obesity today than there's ever been. And it's on my medical chart. True story. I'm not going to hide it. You can't hide it. People look at you and they're like, yeah, man, you could lose about 50 pounds. Don't I know it? I know it's not funny, but you have to laugh, right? Either that or you cry and go into depression. I don't want to do that. In fact, you probably weigh more today than you did when you first noticed. How many months or years ago has it been? That it might just be in your best interest to drop a pound or two. Yes, it is. It's in my health interest. And maybe it's in yours too, which is why you're watching. Has it ever occurred to you that something is missing? That some piece of the equation has been misplaced or forgotten? Or maybe even purposely hidden? Yes, I mean, like this is 2026, and the big deal about losing weight now is GLP-1, Ozempic, and my doctor prescribed for me Ribelsis. And I, with a lot of exercise, not just relying on the pill, but just trying to get my metabolism to work the way it did when I was in my 20s, I 3 months maybe of hard work, I lost 7 pounds. And as soon as the prescription ran out, because it was a trial, I put it all back on. So I'm like, well, what good was that? I'd have to be taking Ribelsis forever, and my Medicare won't cover it, even though it says that I'm a diabetic and classified as obese. Okay. It's not as if you haven't tried and tried some more. That's true. Could it be that all the trying is only getting in the way? It's ironically real. We pay Gestapo-like attention to the food we eat. We count fat grams with religious fervor. We tally calories with frenetic abandon. And yet we totally overlook the critical element that fuel our cells. We ignore the one ingredient that provides our body's energy. It never even occurs to us to think about the amount of oxygen we consume. Yet, 70% of the body's wastes are processed through breathing. Dr. Lawrence Lamb, a former medical consultant to the President's Council on Physical Fitness, says it's odd that we spend all this time monitoring what we take into our bodies and then completely ignore what or how comes out. We don't even consider that the problem may be how the body is actually working. Look at it this way. If your car's not running right, you don't keep trying different types of gasoline, different brands of motor oil, do you? You take it to the mechanic and tune it up. You work on the heart of the problem, the system that runs the gasoline and the oil. That makes a lot of sense to me. I hope it does to you too. Good breathing is the key, says this author, Pam Grout. I just found this body. I've excuse me. I should edit it, but I won't. I'm just reading this book. I haven't actually tried the breath yet, so I would be learning it with you if you're hopping on board. Our bodies process 3 things: food, liquid, and oxygen. And while we might enjoy the food and the liquid more, it's the oxygen that actually provides the fuel that runs our body. Oxygen, through a process called oxidation, chemically changes food and liquid into energy. It's this oxygen fire that contracts our muscles, repairs our cells, feeds our brains, and even calms our nerves. Not only that, but breathing is our body's chief cleansing tool. Every day, our body burns off some 700 billion old cells. 700 billion. These old cells are toxic and must be removed from our system. This is a normal, natural process of the body and nothing to worry about unless for some reason this toxic waste material is not eliminated at the same rate it's being produced. As long as we're breathing properly and getting plenty of oxygen, there is sufficient energy and the waste is easily eliminated. The problem comes when we don't take in enough oxygen. Think about it while I take a sip of mushroom coffee. I think this is interesting. I hope that you do too. In fact, one of the main reasons exercise burns fat is because it increases the rate of oxygen that's delivered to your cells. When you run, for example, you increase your oxygen intake from 7 or 8 liters per minute to 34 or more liters per minute. Wow. Consequently, your body has oxygen to attend to all its energy needs. If your body has accumulated excess fat, yes, it has, that means your body doesn't have the oxygen or the energy it needs to process the food you're taking in. You got my attention. Take a room full of people, any room, any people, and line them up by how much weight they could stand to lose. I I'd be at the end of the line for the most weight to lose. Creeps that are thin, she calls him a creep. You creep, it's not nice to say that, but that's, she's got a sense of humor. Creeps that are thin and lithe and obviously in shape go on one end, those skinny people. Those who need a personal consultation with Jenny Craig go to the other end. Yes, that would be me. Okay, now take that same group and line them up by how much oxygen they consume. With the exception of one or two, your lineup is going to look exactly the same. My point, people who need to lose weight don't take in their full capacity of oxygen. Who knew? And while you might argue that it's the extra weight that causes them to breathe less fully than their skinny counterparts, the truth is, skimpy breathing is the catalyst for the weight problem, not to mention many other problems that you'll learn about in this book. I just got it, and I am reading it for the first time with you now. So if this interests you, I got this book in the used section of Amazon. Apparently it's hard to find. So I got this book because I'm in this meeting group with a sleep doctor in Clearwater, Florida, and she is recommending that the members get this book to study about breathing because she teaches as an MD the proper way to breathe. Who ever heard of such a thing? I mean, I know I'm learning to teach Tai Chi, and the breath work is built in to the prompts from the instructor, me in this case. So I'm understanding that practicing Tai Chi with proper breath work could also be a weight loss tool. And as a senior citizen, this is good news because after a torn meniscus, I could no longer teach yoga. And the weight packs on because I'm not doing enough exercise, which gives oxygen to my body to burn toxic cells. Okay, so let's do a quick experiment as we get into this book. And I might, if I get enough interest in this episode, if you put comments in the chat, or if you don't know where to find this in the archives, you can go to my YouTube channel, and I think it's at Energy Life Wave, or I'll post it secondarily on my music YouTube channel, and that handle is at Jewish Rock Music. So let's do this. Sit up straight. This is an experiment about how you breathe, you, the listener, and me. Sit up straight and rest your palm on your lower belly. Okay, now your palm about below your navel. Okay, now let us take a breath. Which way did your belly move? If your belly sucks in and flattens on the in-breath, you're breathing backward. And that used to be me until I had a vocal coach in Nashville that had me stand in front of a full-length mirror because I was having problems hyperventilating when I was singing, and nobody could figure it out. No other teacher until I went to Nashville. And she spotted it right away. She didn't tell me to put my hand on my belly. She just said, take a breath in. And what did I do back then in the 90s? When I took a breath in, I raised my shoulders, which is a no-no. I had no idea. Nobody ever told me about shallow breathing. So now that I know my shoulders shouldn't be elevating, it's the ribs that need to expand and the belly. Let's get back to this experiment. If your belly relaxes when you take a breath in and expands, meaning your palm that's resting on your navel area or below is moving forward away from your core, you are way ahead of the game. The exercises in this book, Jumpstart Your Metabolism, will come quite easily for you and me. So I find this exciting, especially as I am on this journey to learn how to teach Tai Chi as an instructor. I will definitely become more assertive in the teaching the breath portion of Tai Chi in the interest of better health. Okay, so if you look in the dictionary, the definition of food is anything your body takes in to maintain life and growth. So, strictly speaking, oxygen is food. It's the fuel that burns the fat, the source of all energy, the ignition key that makes sure everything that bodies do gets done. And yet, we take our breathing for granted. We certainly don't relate to it with a weight problem. I didn't either until I got a hold of this book. Why should we? Everybody breathes, everybody takes in oxygen. But not everybody takes in the same amount of oxygen. Most of us, in fact, suffer from what doctors call futile breathing. Take that down. If you're taking notes, write it down. Futile breathing, meaning we get a quarter to a fifth of the oxygen our lungs were designed to hold. That's a major deficit, a major problem for your cells, which are trying desperately to process food, provide energy, and be the all-knowing dynamos that we were meant to be. When you don't get enough oxygen, you literally strangle your cells. Think about it that way. We need to re-educate ourselves. If you are on this mission with me, maybe there's some people watching that would also like to take Tai Chi classes online. I'll be offering them as soon as I get done with my certification class. So subscribe to this YouTube channel if this information interests you. When you don't get enough oxygen, as I just said, you literally strangle your cells. It's like putting a noose around their necks, making it very difficult for them to do their job. As hard as they might try, they can't process food properly. They get bogged down, filled with sludge, and you, consequently, and me, run out of energy. You literally work at 1/5 of your potential when you don't get enough oxygen. Your body slows down, you gain weight, and becomes even more stubborn about changing. The other startling fact is that 90% of us practice futile breathing in one form or another. That means 9 out of 10 of us aren't getting enough oxygen. And that also explains at the beginning of COVID, I lost my job as a yoga teacher because, I taught at brick and mortar facilities, senior citizens. So I spent the next 2 years being unemployed, packed on a bunch of weight, like 50 pounds in 2 years. Why? Because I was just sitting at the computer, writing books and writing music, which doesn't require full capacity breath work. I never connected it together until now when I got a hold of this book, Jumpstart Your Metabolism by Pam Grout. An average pair of lungs can hold almost 2 gallons of air. Most people settle for a measly 2 or 3 pints. It's no wonder we're getting fatter by the day. It reminds me of that Mama Cass song, getting better every day. But I would say, getting fatter every day. I don't like getting fatter every day. I'm serious. When I look at videos or pictures of this singing group that I'm in at the last performance we did in 2025, I look at myself and I think, gosh, I can't believe how fat I am. In my mind's eye, I'm thinking I don't look that fat. So, reality check, people. Reality check. Okay, so let's keep going here. We've got about 5 minutes left in. I'm going to keep reading. The other startling fact. Oh, I already read that. Okay, if you're like most people, you're probably scoffing at what I'm saying or at me, or at least scratching your head. You're thinking something to the effect, you mean to tell me that all I have to do is to lose weight is to change my breathing? That something this simple is actually going to work when every other gizmo, gadget, and pill didn't? The answer, quite simply, according to this author, is yes. The most profound truths are often the simplest. Let me just say right now that if you want to lose weight, you can do it by pumping up your breathing. It's not hard. It's not demanding. And if you don't even have to touch your toes, you don't. In fact, you're going to feel so much better after you start breathing properly that you won't even be tempted to return to old patterns of futile breathing. Unlike diets that require self-sacrifice, mental angst, and calculators to tally calories and fat grams, this plan is something you'll actually look forward to doing. In fact, I guarantee you'll never breathe the same again. Another guarantee I can make is that if you bothered to pick up this book, meaning you probably have a vested interest in dropping a pound or two, you aren't breathing the way you should. If you were, you'd be too busy winning Nobel Peace Prizes or plotting your next expedition down the Amazon, or at least dreaming up some new fun menu for tonight's dinner. If you correct futile breathing patterns, you will lose weight, says the author. It doesn't matter if you are 10 pounds overweight or 100 pounds overweight. I can't guarantee that you will eventually look like Cindy Crawford. She's like, well, at the time this book was written, she was a popular model. But who can we say now? All I can remember is Twiggy, but that's because I'm a baby boomer. But anyway, fill in the blank with your favorite skinny person. But I can guarantee that if you pump up your breathing, your health will improve, and that physique that you're constantly carping about will shape up. Oh, that'd be so great to lose my belly fat. If you practice the breathing exercises in this book, your body will automatically kick into higher metabolism. Your energy level will explode, and you can kiss your weight problem goodbye. 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 Congratulations, you just bought a book that will change your life forever. That's why I'm doing this podcast, because I'm going to learn these tricks and incorporate it into my classes. Tai Chi. I probably won't be certified to teach Tai Chi for about 4-ish months, but in the meantime, it's a perfect time for you and I to read this book. Try to get the book. If you don't, then I will read a section on my podcast every week, Sundays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel and on Facebook if you can find me, Deborah Cohen, DebraCohen. So I'm going to close with a commercial about my latest memoir, in case you're interested in learning, or maybe you're a memoir reader. I just released this book on January 9th, 2026. So check it out. And I hope to see you again right here on A Story and a Song podcast with me, Deborah Cohen.
The memoir that bridges 3 worlds most people never see together. The underground new wave music scene, the raw reality of trauma and healing, and the unexpected, often miraculous spiritual encounters that shaped Deborah Cohen into the woman she is becoming today. Check it out. Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Now available in online stores near you.